Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Very happy to be here today together with Lily and Luis. And we will wait a few more minutes to let more people in. Meanwhile, you may tell us in the chat where you are joining us from.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily and I'm attending from Spain. And we also have Lewis as our guest speaker. Where are you currently, Lewis?
Good evening, everybody. Lewis here. I'm down in Malta, just below Italy.
We have at least Connie, who says she's from Canada. Fantastic. And I'm in Cyprus, by the way.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And there are still people joining. Okay, Ireland. All right, Kansas.
Oh, lots of people from everywhere. Nice.
Yes.
Oh,
Brazil.
wow. Brazil. All around the world.
Super. Fantastic.
So your chance to sell diving in Malta.
Sweden. Yeah.
Give them a reason to come over to the...
Absolutely. Our little wreck paradise.
Yeah.
And Robin
Mexico as
is
well.
also there, a partner of DiveAssure, scuba travel advisor. So there will be some good people here to talk about travel as well, I suppose, and Playa del Carmen. All right. UK, wet UK. Lily, you don't miss it, I suppose.
No, definitely not. There's a reason I moved to Spain.
Yeah. US Virgin Islands. Wow. Okay.
Malaysia. Wow, we're really...
We have a very wide geography today.
Yeah.
Portugal.
Cool. Portugal. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
So I think we can get started. If anyone joins midway, then they can watch the replay if they want to.
Absolutely. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We are very pleased to have you here. And again, Luis and Lily, it's your show, so I'm just here the guest. So I would say, Luis, tell us who you are.
Thank you very much, JC, Lily, for inviting me this evening for our seminar. So I'm down in Malta. I'm a technical diving instructor. I've been here 8 years now, teaching the full range of open circuit diving from entry level up to full trimix. I play around in my CCR as well at quite some depths here in the summers when we have the most perfect conditions on some of our amazing heritage wrecks, reefs, and artificial reef sites that are dotted around the Isles of Malta and Gozo.
Thanks, Lewis. Thanks for your great introduction. So, I mean, you've told us what you do. Let's start a little bit with the beginning. As I'm sure, like everyone else, you started out as a normal diver, a recreational diver, and perhaps you got to a point where recreational diving just wasn't enough anymore. So what first sort of pulled you into the world of technical diving and Sidemount diving?
The Sidemount and the technical side of things really came along at two individual paths. I had arrived to Malta and I was just diving for the fun of it. I was a chef on a super yacht. It was work, and just the right guy planted the right seed at the right time. And I was just having a great time on the reefs and the wrecks here. That range from around 8 to 34 meters on this island and down to 45 on Gozo. And it's just like amazing big days out, crazy visibility up to 50 meters. The reef is not too far away, and the climate is really, really amazing in the summer, and it gets a bit milder this time of the year. I was one of those divers that was very much in the summer shorts and t-shirt. I think getting a little bit older, losing a bit of weight, and I was always adamant I wouldn't have a dry suit. And I did my Tech 40 and then in a wetsuit. And because I'm so, I only weigh like 72 kilos, it drowned me in a 5 mil suit. So I soon got a dry suit for that extra buoyancy. And then I found a Sidemount kit. And then I was just playing with that, and my employer just kind of let me go and do my thing. Got my set of regs. That was a very kind of like proud moment. I'm actually using in my twin set in the photo just behind me. And then just a side mount. Here it's open, so open water. So it's not like cenotes and caves per se. We have big, large caverns, and we have the wrecks to play in. It gives you that versatility of moving around a bit more free. Your profile can be a bit slimmer, and it's just a bit less on your back. And it's just fun, really fun. Every tool has a job. The tech diving, it kind of just took off my fourth year here in Malta. I stayed the winter. It was just after we'd had Brexit. And so I was stuck, unfortunately, on this beautiful rock and driving around doing all these amazing dive sites. And from there, it took me until 2017, and I eventually became a full trimix instructor. Obviously, moving up my levels, diving with the dive club that's local. We got to do some amazing of the heritage wrecks that have been opened by Heritage Malta itself. And you should definitely check the virtual museum because they've done all the photogrammy. So it's really, really cool. You can see kind of what you're doing before you come. Yeah, that's small summary.
Sounds good. You're kind of making me want to move to Malta, actually. Definitely time to get in the water again and do some more exploring. Yeah, great. So a lot of our audience tonight might be recreational divers. I'm not sure. Perhaps if anyone wants to write in the chat, if you're a recreational diver interested in tech diving, or already tech divers, or side mount divers, it'd be great to know what kind of audience we're talking to. And yeah, Lewis, I heard you're also into CCR diving. So what makes that so rewarding? What sort of brought you into not just standard tech diving, but also using a closed circuit rebreather? And what should divers expect when transitioning into those configurations? Sort of how difficult is it to transition from closed circuit to open circuit, or open circuit to closed circuit? So.
Yeah, no, it's a really good question, like a great question. And the rebreathers, they've taken like this field over the last kind of 15 years in the market, and most extremely now the last 5 years. I wouldn't say like super accessible. There's still a path to be found within them, and there's an ISO now. So most agencies have them as T-type technical rebreather, but you can use them in a recreational atmosphere. So like a 30-meter certification. The PADI used to call it advanced rebreather. Some others may just call it generic, but now we kind of have a more fundamental level 1, level 2, level 3, and each agency is different and separate, right? But they all conform as an ISO. The characteristics of most of the CCRs now available in the market, the most popular ones, the one that I use is the JJ CCR. There's not a lot much different from its familiars apart from what they offer inside. Instead of what is different, the buoyancy aspect, for sure. A new diver within their first 20 minutes figure out that if I inhale, I go up. If I exhale, I go down. With the rebreather, this doesn't really apply. If you move your body position up or down, things start to expand. And as we know in shallow water, they can obviously move you up a lot quicker than expected, and you need to adjust. So following a normal profile that any diver plans is, you go along and then you come up at the end, and not bouncing around on the floor. The rebreather, why I moved into CCR diving, it's I got to the point where I was doing 100 meters, 90-minute bottom times, 120 meters. We have the HMS Olympus here, which is a huge submarine outside of Valletta with a terrible story behind it with the sailors, but it's a fascinating wreck. And you're looking at open circuit, and I even had a problem when my first stage exploded, and fortunately I had planned my gases, and my nearest gas was at 96 meters. I was at 117, and I was able to escape quite happily as it was my turn to go up. This was a little bit of the peer pressure from some of my friends as well, because they had gone, why don't you come next week to this dive? It's only another couple of atmospheres. And I was like, yeah, cool. It's only another €150 for the heliums. And then you start to talk about the costs as well. So, the upfront cost is huge on a rebreather, and the experience gaining it, because it's calculated in hours. Typically it's like 50, 100, and then so on, with numbers of dives as well for each level. So it's time based. It's not just your typical, I go on holiday, get 5 dives done for my advanced, and I take a picture and I'm an advanced diver now in 9 dives. You really have to earn it, because it's so important, because you can hurt yourself. And it just makes my costs dramatically cheaper. I feel more gear, with more control, and it's silent. So the life, it comes to you as well underwater, and you can hear things. And in one of the videos later, you're going to hear one of those things that happened to a mechanical device. So that'd be kind of like a fun quirk to this seminar that we're going to get down to discuss shortly.
Yeah, that's one thing. When I've only ever tried a SCR unit, so semi-closed rebreather, but the no noise, the no bubbles, this is something that for me would really sell it, because being underwater, and on one hand the sort of comforting Darth Vader breath that we have breathing through our typical regulator can be quite a nice noise, and almost like a meditative noise, but when you don't have it and when you get used to that silence, it's fantastic. I remember one of the weirdest sensations was the not being able to adjust the buoyancy using your breath, which is something that you're really proud to accomplish as a recreational scuba diver, and then suddenly use a SCR or CCR unit and go, it's completely twisted.
I think the word we look for, especially when you try it as a dive throw, is quite like humbling.
Yeah, exactly.
You think you're okay in the water, and you're like, whoopsie.
So I'm not as good as I thought I was, and it's always good to have lots of humbling experiences throughout your dive life, dive career, because I think it's too easy to get very overconfident when you have a lot of dives and when you've been diving regularly. So it's always good to continue training, learn new things, and try out different experiences. So you already explained to us a bit about Malta, and for me as a non-tech diver, Malta has always been like the capital for wreck divers paradise. I've always wanted to go. I've never actually made it there myself, unfortunately. But I hear that you've experienced some incredible wreck dive sites. So what's a wreck dive that really stands out to you, whether for better or for worse? And perhaps if you've got a story about a particular wreck dive where everything went great because you followed your plan, or maybe one where you really had to rely on training, rely on a contingency plan.
I've got a photo to share for kind of for some perspective. Can I do that with you?
Yes, please.
Excellent. Just bear with me. Okay.
Yep, we can see.
So this is one of our newer wrecks that have been put down in Gozo, just off the coast of Chat-la-Mar. And this is the Hephaestus. So as you can see, it's been cut open for tourism. The engines have been removed. And here, one of my clients, they are in Sidemount, and we have just done their Tech 65.
I was going to say, I thought you only dive with the dry suit now.
I do. I'm a wimp. I get cold. This was just a fun dive because we just had the trimix steel. We've just topped off the tanks, so it was just a fun day after the course. We've gone over to Gozo. This particular week, it was just fantastic. It was another dive throw, which is always fantastic, and we had truly amazing dives. It started over in Chikawa, and we did the training basics there, and then we've gone off to SS Polynesian, which is 140 meters nearly in length, off of a boat. In Sidemount configuration, open water diving. A lot of people will say Sidemount is not open water. There's always a little bit of a divide whether it should be only in caves or open water, but it's fun. And here you can see, obviously, we're flexing our skills to the limit here at 45 meters approximately. And this is an example of just a great day. We've swum out on a really nice flat, calm conditions. The wreck, it goes up to about 28 meters on the mast, where we can do a couple of our gas switches in the middle of the wreck as we're ascending, hit the reef, do another gas switch into the bay. Happy days, just a lovely 95-minute dive. You can even see the visibility is so clear. And this is after the wreck had been down 7 months. And the growth on it isn't fantastic, and it's been there now 3.5 years, I believe, and it just keeps getting better. That's a good example.
Great, that sounds good. Yeah, you can definitely see even in the black and white photo that the visibility looked great down there.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think you had a story about a situation where something went wrong during a dive that you wanted to share with us.
Yes. So I have a video for us. I'm just pairing myself with it. This was a recent wreck dive that we did down to HMS Russell. It was a pre-dreadnought era, so this actually precedes Scapa. So all of those wreckies that are from the UK, or you really know about the Scapa flow wrecks, this is something that is a pinnacle sort of spill. This goes before this wreck. It's upside down. It's at 150 meters. The deck is approximately 98. My strobe was at 101 on the shot line. And I'm just going to begin sharing now. So the video starts with us just at the midships, and I'd actually just found the starboard lamp. There's not a lot of information on the wreck, whether it's still undergoing its whole underwater screening process that they do here. But I'll start with the beginning. You can see the lamp. I'm on my scooter. In my CCR, you can hear my Darth Vader. This is one of the 6-inch guns. And then slowly to the left, we can see the launches. Scooter in action. Lots of nudie branch. Just coming around, you can see the 12-inch guns kind of in the background. Haven't seen any photos of these online before. And then you're going to get the click, 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 click. I'm at 150 meters. It's time to go home for a swim.
I mean, besides from up, how far did you have to sort of swim to get back to your exit point?
We were approximately 84 meters linear to the strobe, which was approximately 100 meters depth. So a little bit of a way. I just guided the way with the lights on my scooter. So he could see there was a little bit of current over the top of the wreck. So it was quite fortunate that had he been drifted away, I could have just towed him anyway, but the line was going that direction. So in sight, it was fine, safe. He just had to kick his legs a little bit, but he's a big boy. I know he's watching. And yeah, he can see me. He come and join me on the shot line, and we just completed our stops. But it's one of those, we decided not to push the dive any further at this depth because it was the plan. If something like this had failed, had it not broken and the scooter would have been fine, we would have stayed probably for another 10 minutes at least, to get some more footage and go around the other side to the port side. There's access through and underneath. So it's quite exciting wreck just to try and reminisce about it.
I think whatever, whichever kind of diving you're doing, it's always important to, well, obviously we need to plan our dive, we need to stick to the dive plan, but we also need to have always the contingency plan in place of how to behave if, the what ifs happen. But I assume with technical diving, when you're diving so deep, that's even more important than with recreational diving, and especially if you're using a scooter to get yourself to a point, must be sort of even more important that you stick to your plan. Is there any particular practice or habit that you've really honed in on since becoming a technical diver that perhaps for recreational diving wasn't as important, or would you say it's relatively the same?
It's definitely about keeping your skills concurrent. In the industry with the CCI, if you don't use it, you're supposed to go and do a workshop that's related to CCR on your unit with an instructor that is certified with either that rebreather or someone that's acknowledged as. But that's the same in the industry with the reactivate or refresh program in open circuit. How I keep myself concurrent is I go training. I go and do dives. I like to create content for underwater. That's how we're here. That's why we're here. I like to record it. It's fun to look back and learn from as well. I use it as a tool, whether it's for myself, or maybe I could do that better, or I'm going to change that bottle and place it there, or that hose, like these little things. So they make life a lot simpler. This is the same for single tank diving, just in recreational. Even yesterday we were doing a course. It was for fun. We're just trying to make some marketing material. 2 instructors that are tech divers, and it was my buddy from the 115-meter dive, and we were just doing a workshop with 6 tanks and discussing opinions and views on placement, gas philosophy, and even how to teach, because we both teach the open circuit range. And in that way, you're getting a quality instructor when you see people that are very active, not just talking about myself, but like other people on social media that are doing it. And that's important to see as well. You don't want someone that doesn't dive once in a blue moon, and because that's when problems happen, because you're not fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's practice is key. Practice makes confident, and also keeps you up to date and allows you to experience different weather conditions, malfunctions of the dive gear and whatever can be thrown at you while you're underwater or throughout the whole dive planning. Do you have any other images or videos you wanted to share with us?
Yes, I do. One moment. It's still so new to me.
I've got. We need to give you a round of applause. It's Lewis's first time using Zoom, so everyone, please give him a clap.
I've got the profile of the dive that we did. So if you're familiar with the like Shearwater, for example, but it's very generic. Um, so this 115-meter dive, you can see where we've entered. We've just a gas check at the top, bubble check, making sure everything's in the right place. You can see my arrow down, and then here you can see that this is where we've placed the and been down there for about 8 minutes, and then see our ascent following our profile, and mid waters between about 54 and 70 meters. There was actually a steaming current which was pushing us down. We were actually having to scooter up, which is normal, but it's to ascend. And then a final one.
Sorry, could you open that back up again? So
Sorry.
you showed the depth line. What were the other markings on the screen? So like the red area, is that from?
So the red is our decompression. So as soon as we pass approximately 46 meters, the decompression station has incurred time to surface decompression, and you can see that we can't go through. This is like a safety stop. You do. The white line denotes where we are in the water, and the red line is what we would call tech divers or the recreational divers. That's the 6 meters that you must stay between after your dive. The blue line is simply the temperature dropped to around 14 degrees. My body didn't even have a hood. I was cold. And the white line is the profile, as I said. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. I'm not sure if we have a little bit of a connection problem. JC, are you experiencing the same? I don't know if it's my connection or if it's Lewis's connection.
No, I think it was the sound of Lewis was a little bit cut from time to time.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll keep going. I just wanted to let you know in case it gets worse. I wasn't sure if it was just me or not.
Yeah. By the way, if anyone has a question, you can use also the Q&A section. There is a button on the bottom of your screen. So ask also any question.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share with us about your diving?
There's so many things.
Yeah,
I don't want to take everybody eating up.
Within the allotted time.
Yeah. The main thing I like here in Malta is the accessibility. It's heritage. It's underwater world. The growth. It's so easy to dive here. We have 2 chambers. You know, the training, it's a mid-ground for people that are coming for their instructor, and then they go off to other parts of the world. For the entry level, it's fantastic because it offers that. I've always said that Malta is a platform as a set of stairs, so you kind of just stand and learn in shallow water, and then you take off from there. And then as you move up the levels, you come down for your humblings, and then continue. And then the fish life, it's a Mediterranean. It is overfished, sadly, but we do have those exciting days. JC, I'm sure the north of Larnaca, you have turtles and things like that. We have here as well, but they're quite rare. I'm looking at the whales and things like that. There was orcas recorded off the coast of Gibraltar this year for the first time many times. I don't think we're going to have orcas, but we do have huge tunas and amberjacks, and you do have your wow moments for sure here. Just toddle on a reef. Sometimes you can go snorkeling for 2 meters, and you bump into a bull ray that's just buried in the sand. But those are like the really nice days that you have. The industry has done fascinating work. The MTA and Visit Malta, they've really put some facilities that are more like as a swimming program. you know, so there's a shower at Chikawa Marine Park, there's spinal board, we have oxygen, so it's a really safe environment. There's a manager there nearly all of the summer for like 7 months, which is great, and they're doing wonderful things with the 2 wrecks over there. I mentioned one of the wrecks over in Gozo. There's 3 more that have been there. Famously, the Carwella with the staircase. That's like kind of every advanced diver moving into their tech or nitrox specialty, putting them together, where they get that staircase photo, and then just the clarity of the water. It's a big thing to just kind of experience it and immerse yourself deeply. Yeah, it's a great environment. It's really
I think it's a
social.
key point that the country has actually sort of taken care of they're aware that tourism is a lot to do with diving, and they're taking care of the water lovers that come to the island, and allowing them to enjoy a really nice experience. And I think it shows as well that they care by having the chambers on site, because this is a big point. I mean, for me now, when I choose a dive spot, even when I was an instructor maybe, but also especially now, working in diving insurance, I always want to know where the nearest chamber is, and be sure that there's something close by, in the event that, you know, something were to happen. So yeah, sounds good. I think you may have twisted my arm to come to Malta. Definitely need to come for a visit someday. If there was anyone watching thinking about either diving in Malta or starting up with technical diving, is there sort of one thing that you would say to them, or a couple of things that you'd say, okay, this is why you should dive in Malta, and this is why you need to start tech diving?
To come to Malta, if you like history, you like beautiful surroundings, a little bit of nature, splashed with a lot of history, it's definitely the place to be. You know, it was a foothold between Alexandria and the main European continent. So you know, you just have to Google history Malta, and it's right there in front of you. And then 2 world wars that laid all the wrecks, and as we've just discussed, the local industry. Getting involved in tech diving, some people accelerate at things really well, really quickly, but it's always best to put one hand in front of you and take it as it comes. Don't just race. A lot of issues arise when people, they just kind of have a goal, and it's depth. It's you know, when I did my full trimix instructor, I went back down to 45 meters and made sure my skills were honed. You know, like we discussed earlier, take the time, do it right, and find somebody that's going to give you the time and make it manageable. Not so bite-sized, but makes it legible for you to interpret as a solid diver.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, so I think we're coming to the end of the webinar, unless, Lewis, if you have anything else that you wanted to share with us. Something I forgot to mention, actually, because I didn't get around to doing the introduction. So Lewis is actually one of our DiveAssure ambassadors. So now he's able to keep all of his divers safe during their diving with him or dive training with him. And very important as well is if you look into doing tech diving, not only plan well and prepare well and have redundancy for everything, but ensure that your insurance is up to scratch with the diving you want to do, because not all diving accident insurance will cover technical diving, and if it does, it may not cover specific depths that you are wanting to meet. Our DiveAssure coverage has no depth limit, but very important is that you remain within your depth limit, so your trained depth limit or the depth limit you're planning to do in training with a diving instructor that is able to teach you. So I think we have a few questions in the Q&A. Yes, Pierre is asking, what do you think about decompression with 1.6 ppO2?
Decompression 1.6 PPO2. This is in itself what we plan for in open circuit. We plan our decompression gases to 1.6. So for me, it's normal. It's industry. I wouldn't have my back gas planned at 1.6 and not as a contingency either. With the rebreather, it becomes, or the CCR, it becomes a bit more of a hot topic. Anyone out there that's works in this field or is experienced in this field, but generally speaking, the length of oxygen use, it can become toxic. So most CCR divers are trained to optimize 1.3 on your way down and on your way up. Which I feel comfortable with fully, and that's relatively how I dive and manage to do multiple days of 100-meter dives, for example.
Okay, thank you. And we have one more question. If anyone wants to add a question, the time is now. So please use the Q&A to add your questions for Lewis. But Sergio is asking, what is the depth of wrecks in Malta? Perhaps the deepest depth and maybe the average depth?
We have a number of wrecks in Malta. There is the other island, Gozo. In Malta, we have HMS Maori, which is at 8 meters. So it's perfect for your first experience dive if you're fully able to complete the core basic skills as required. And then for the more advanced diver at around 20 to 33 meters at the Marine Park of Chikawa, we have the P29 and the Rosie tugboat. In the middle, we have another tugboat at around 16 and 20. In Gozo, the wrecks to touch are around 32 meters down to 45 meters.
Okay, so there's pretty much a wreck site for everyone.
Yeah. There is.
So you don't need to be tech dive trained to enjoy some of the nice wrecks in Malta.
Deep specialty will get you a monopoly of most of the dives.
Oh, great. And we have one more. Nathaniel is asking, can you think of any use of hypoxic nitrox?
Hypoxic nitrox. We would usually use hypoxic mixes for a profile for a deep dive. So anything below 0.17 oxygen is hypoxic. Up to 21% is regarded as normal. Why? Because it's my back gas, or maybe I need a gas to breathe between 100 and a gas between 180 meters. That's 80, not 180. Because we call it an intermediate, and then I would have nitrox gases to breathe on the way back up, if that makes sense. So I have my decompression, a gas in the middle, in case there is a problem with my main gas on the bottom in open circuit. In CCR, it's relatively similar, but a very long session, shall we say, if we go into it further.
All right, thank you very much. So we have no more questions coming in. So Lewis, I'm going to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us, sharing the stories with us, and a lot of exciting information about Malta, diving in Malta, technical diving, a bit of an insight into a world that many divers still dream of entering and reaching the deepest depths. So it's been a pleasure to have you with us. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, both of you. JC, it was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Yeah, a pleasure. And by the way, what I want just to add is that in Malta, you can really dive the whole year. Many people think in the Mediterranean it's only seasonal, but Malta is really the place you can go all year long. And there are just a few days where you have rough sea, but this is my experience of Malta, that you can go in December and can have a good dive. Absolutely no problem.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining.
If you're looking at diving in Malta, actually, of course, please feel free to contact Lewis. I don't know if Lewis, if you wanted to put in the chat, perhaps a way of contacting you if anyone's interested in going to Malta.
Good point.
or even getting technically trained with you, or Sidemount trained. Just make sure when you click into the chat that it's sending not just to not just to hosts and panelists. I'm not sure.
Do I post into the chats?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is my my website, guys. So you can click there, and all of my socials are at the right bottom of the page as well. And then there's the selective informations for each level, guided dives, courses, and so on like that on my Dive 80 cubic feet website. Thank you again, Lily, for mentioning that. That's really kind of you. And it's been honestly a pleasure to be working with you.
Are you able to share it? Because it's only been sent to us as hosts, I think, right?
Wait a second, I can do
I don't
that.
know. I can't share it to anyone else either. That's why. There we go. There we go. So everyone should be able to see that now. If anyone's planning a trip to Malta, or planning a trip to Malta and just wants to go diving, Lewis doesn't just do technical diving. He also will do the normal stuff.
Absolutely. We're crazy for bubbles here.
All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
And,
have a nice evening.
Thanks, Lewis.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye bye.